You know I never like to see my fellow half-chowds struggling. And right now it seems to me that struggle is real. At least it looks and feels real from here 3,000 miles away in SoCal. In fact, from here, it looks downright miserable in Chowtown. In fact, why don't we just cut out the pleasantries altogether? Exactly the hell is going on there, half fam? Because from where I'm sitting, bleep is ripping apart. First, it was the allegedly all-time great Bruins crashing and burning out on the NHL playoffs in a, quote, Hindenburg-like ending.
Hindenburg-like ending.
Not me saying that. But I can't argue with it either. That was a Hindenburg-like ending.
Hindenburg-like ending.
Literally hours after that, the Celtics lose game one and their home court advantage against the Sixers minus Joel Embiid. And that pretty much right there is the definition of below not good. In fact, below not good does not begin to do that justice. I mean, exactly how would you characterize letting Philly come into your house, rip game one and the home court without the soon-to-be MVP, Troel? I mean, what would you call that? There's a phrase for it. God, what's the matter with me? There's a phrase for it. It's on the tip of my tongue. What is that again? Oh, yeah, I know. Straight ass. That's what that is. How the hell did that happen? Seriously, how did that happen? The hell is going on at TD Garden? That's not one bad night. That's 2 bad weeks. In fact, 2 of the worst weeks ever, half fam. I don't recognize my half fam anymore or my half teams anymore. Not that I need to tell you this, but others around the nation may not know it, but let me lay it out. I know you know this, half fam, but for the rest of the nation, that is now 4 straight L's for the home team between the Bruins and the Celtics. It is brutal. Boston cannot buy a win at home right now, even though they had a win gift-wrapped for them last night. Gift-wrapped. Can't buy a dub when most of you just assumed that you would have 2 world championships this year. You assumed it. You know you did. The Bruins, the Celtics. It was all set up. It was perfect. You assumed 2 parades. And then one turns into the biggest disaster ever, and the other one is now on the verge of coming off the rails altogether. The Bruins pull off a choke for the ages, but the Celtics were like, hey, hold my Sam Adams lager. Again, they just lost as a double-digit favorite to a Philadelphia 76ers team without the likely NBA MVP, Joel Embiid. And it's not that they lost, but how they lost. And who did them? Because listen, Hall of Fame credentials aside, how many times has James Harden crapped the bed in the postseason? And don't tell me the criticism of the beard melting down in the playoffs isn't fair, because it is. It is, because he has. Yes, he's an all-time great. Yes, he's a Hall of Famer. But don't tell me this guy hasn't disappeared and come up small repeatedly on the biggest stage, because the guy has. He has. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. That's not a hot take. That's real. But last night, one of the more likely dudes to not come through in a big spot came through huge, in a huge spot. In fact, that dude probably has never been better on a big stage when his team needed it more than last night. I mean, I almost can't even believe that I'm talking about the beard in this regard. You know, the artist formerly known as James Larden. The dude who never comes through when it matters most, at least until last night. And if you're sitting there thinking, damn, I've pretty much never seen the beard have a game like that in a spot like that, it's because he pretty much has never had a game like that in a spot like that. 45 points, tied a career playoff high, and it wasn't just the 45 that was so enormous. It was also the dagger that he dropped on them in the last 10 seconds. Again, They just watched the best regular season team in NHL history go up in flames in the first round and then somehow witness something just as shocking the very next night. They witnessed James Harden actually coming through. I mean, I feel like I don't even know this bearded dude anymore. Who was that bearded dude who showed up in Boston last night? He didn't just play his ass off and come up huge in the clutch. He actually showed some of that competitive fire as well. Did you catch this dude telling his teammates not to celebrate after the game and waving them back to the locker room and yelling, "It's one game, bro"? Look at this dude. He's got that team on his back. He's leading from the front. I mean, it's one game, bro. Honestly, who the hell is this guy? And what have they done with Larden? James Harden throwing it back and putting James Larden on a milk carton last night. I'll tell you what, I hope we never, ever find that tub of goo. Listen, this dude has taken a lot of crap over the years for his play in the postseason, and he has deserved a lot of crap over the years for his play in the postseason. I mean, how many other dudes also do you know have eaten their way off of an NBA team? Literally, not a figure of speech. Ate his way out of town, ate his way off a team. They don't call you Larden for nothing. You have to earn that gloss. And then, in a way, last night sort of made the haters point for them. Like, where the hell has this guy been? Why don't we see that more often? Yeah, I get that, dude. I'm sure that did feel good. Probably felt great. And you're right. Everybody knows it's been a minute, which is why, James, everybody's wondering why. Why don't we see that more often? Why don't we see that most of the time? If you're still capable of that now, why didn't you do more of that earlier? And yes, I am well aware that he's now about making sacrifices and subjugating his game for Joel and the team. I get that. But where were you all those years when you were the guy and everybody else was subjugating everything else for you? And then you were unable to consistently deliver. I mean, again, who saw this coming last night? Who saw that game from that guy coming last night when they needed it most? And even if you're a Sixers player or a coach and you say you did and you knew and this is why we were all wrong, you're lying. Especially when our dude was right on brand. Hitting Vegas between series and showing up last night in a Cookie Monster fit. I mean, how serious can this guy really be if he's in Vegas slapping a member of his entourage on video in the middle of the playoffs and then repping the Cookie Monster?
Boss, eat cookie.
What? Grimace didn't want any of that. Then again, ball out like he did last night, and this dude can essentially dress however the hell he wants. Maybe do a deal with Dana White for power slap in between games 1 and 2 for all I care. I mean, show up like that, do what he did last night, and he can do pretty much whatever he wants within reason. Listen, for the Sixers to shock the world and make the worst month in the history of Boston sports, he's probably going to have to do that 3 more times. And I really didn't even think he had it in him once. But even more importantly, I can't believe Boston allowed that to happen in the first place. Once again, on their home floor, just hours after seeing their hockey team pull off arguably the biggest choke in league history. Hours before. Half fam. I'm half pissed, but in full shock. So how the hell are you feeling? What the hell is going on there? Get on the phones, get on social media, hit me up, let me know. Now I'm going to check in with Dan Shaughnessy. He'll shoot me straight if you won't. I want to know what the hell is going on there and how it feels and whether or not you're going to get right and get this thing turned around. As for Harden, I got to admit, watching him get buckets felt like I went back in a time machine to 2019. You know, when he was coming in top 5 of the MVP race. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell to be the first to know when we do upload a new video.